story began in season 1, episode 1, where we will see Cliffjumper busy driving towards that energon ditch, and he arrives like a given cannon and informs RC and the other Autobots he found some energon, but proceeds to get attacked by Decepticons and asks for backup. And he fights all of them, all six vehicles that arrive to kill him. But I'm gonna change something. You see, ever since I started watching Transformers Prime like years ago, I realized something that the Decepticons, or should I say Vehicons, became weaker. They became, I would say, falter. They were just weak. So I'm guessing they were boosted in season 1 to show the Decepticons are threats, even though they're not. But yeah, we will continue with the Cliffjumper just killing all six Vehicons easily because they became falter in later seasons and episodes and all that. So that's what I'm gonna do. So the Decepticons are now just falter, and Cliffjumper kills all of them. But Starscream, being the petty ass Decepticon he is, proceeds to blow up the entire energon ditch just to kill Cliffjumper, but he's alive. And Soundwave would inform him that Cliffjumper is alive. So Starscream tells Soundwave to open a ground bridge, and he brings a few Vehicons along with Soundwave to basically kill Cliffjumper. And Starscream comes out of the ground bridge along with these Vehicons and Soundwave, and he says, Optimus' fiercest warrior. He's on his knees. Oh, now this is hilarious. And Cliffjumper, barely able to pick his head up, push his head up basically, keep his head up basically. He's like, Starscream? Man, where's your master? Saying the same comment he did in canon, and Starscream gets angry from this, and he's like, I am my own master, as he proceeds to slap Cliffjumper. And he's about to dig his claws within his spark chamber, but then energon shots are fired from the sky. Starscream and the Decepticons all look up as a massive jet starts shooting at them, and it kills a few vehicles. And Starscream is confused, but then this jet transforms into a Cybertronian and lands in front of Starscream and Cliffjumper. And his landing actually kind of sends Starscream back, and the other Decepticons get blinded from the dust that picked up. And Cliffjumper, even though he was gonna be sent flying back, the bot that came to help grabbed him to make sure he wasn't sent flying back from his epic landing. And the bot that came is quite surprising, as Soundwave says his name. Well, wait, no, not Soundwave, Starscream. Yes, Starscream says his name, Skyfire, as we see the Autobot named Skyfire, as he smiles at Starscream and he says, Starscream, it's been a while, buddy. Ha ha. Still want my fade. And yeah, all of you are wondering, wait, who's this? Well, if anyone has seen G1, you all know Jetfire was he was supposed to be called Skyfire, so but they changed his name to Jetfire because I'm not too sure, but there was a reason why they changed it. But I'm gonna separate the character from himself. Technically, this character is Skyfire. He's technically Jetfire's twin brother. So yeah, would we see Jetfire? I'll think about it. But yeah, for now, I introduce you Skyfire. How did he get here? Well, 2 days before episode 1 of season 1, RC and Cliffjumper were busy walking in Antarctica, and they were just talking to each other, chilling, because Ratchet picked up a signature. He couldn't tell if it was an Autobot or a Decepticon, but he knew it was a Cybertronian. So he sent Cliffjumper and RC towards the signature, and they would arrive and see a frozen Cybertronian. And they asked the others to come help them and take them out. So they ground bridge back to base, brought the others, grabbed the ice cube, and brought back to base. And when it was done melting, the Autobots found out it was an Autobot thanks to the huge Autobot symbol that's on his chest. And the Autobot being Skyfire. Optimus is shocked to see one of his lieutenants. Yes, he's also gonna be Optimus's lieutenant, like like how Jetfire was in War for Cybertron. I think he was one of his lieutenants, but whatever. But yeah, basically he would tell Ratchet to get some energon and fix him up. Ratchet did that. He woke up, but he thought he was in enemy camp, so he started attacking and slicing and shooting the place. But Optimus and all Autobots calmed him down. Prime told him the situation, and Skyfire explained that he was just traveling through space and he got shot down by the Decepticon ship and landed here. But thanks to the frozen planes, he was frozen in the ice for like 20 megacycles, which is about, huh, I'm gonna say 200 years. So he was here for 200 years at maximum. If anybody knows what megacycle is, then tell me in the comments, because I'm not really sure much about Cybertronian time. But anywho, why wasn't Skyfire like well, where was Skyfire? Let me just say that. Where was he? Well, he was with Agent Fowler because Optimus told him to go to Agent Fowler's base so he can get an Earth-based vehicle form. He went to Agent Fowler's base thanks to Ratchet ground bridging him there, and he scanned his own new Earth-based vehicle form and he was testing it. But he heard through the comm links that cliffjumper was getting his butt whooped by the Decepticons, so he's like, bet, as he goes straight to go help his boy. And now we're back to the scene. And the Vilcon started attacking Skyfire. Skyfire quickly took out his energon blade and started slicing and dicing them into pieces. As he grabs one Vilcon, throws it at Starscream. Starscream dodge, grabs the Vilcon, and uses it to basically smack Starscream away. And Sunwave, thinking to himself, is like, if he fights him, he might lose because his power level is at least the same level as Megatron and Optimus Prime. So yeah, I mean that's how strong he is. So they know if they fight him, they're not really gonna win. So Sunwave is like, we should get out of here. And Starscream's like, yeah, you can say that again. As they ground bridge out of there quickly and go straight to the Nemesis and leave. Now Skyfire looks up and is like, cowards. But then he turns towards Cliffjumper and he's like, you okay? Cliffjumper looks with him in the face of, do I look okay to you? Do I look okay? Skyfire like, okay, I'm sorry. I was just trying to be nice. Jeez. As Skyfire attends to Cliffjumper's wounds because he's also a medic. He's not just a warrior or commander. He's also a medic. Plus a scientist. Quite overpowered, but yeah, whatever. The other Autobots will arrive in the ground bridge and quickly grab Cliffjumper and Skyfire back to base. And Skyfire and Ratchet work together to fix up Cliffjumper. And Bumblebee is mad. He punches the wall out of frustration, seeing his brother injured. Yes, Cliffjumper and Bumblebee are going to be brothers in this timeline. Maybe most of my what ifs are going to make them brothers, but we'll see then. But for now, yeah, they're brothers. So yeah. So basically, Bumblebee just punches the wall, like I said. And Optimus seeing this is like, are you okay, Bumblebee? And Bumblebee like, I'm mad, Optimus. My brother almost died. If it wasn't for Skyfire, he would be dead. Saying it in his bleeping voice, and Optimus telling him to go cool off. And Bumblebee just nods his head as he walks away, realizing he just has to cool off just a bit to be mentally fine. And RC comes up to him asking if she can come with him. And Bumblebee like, sure, why not? As they both drive together and go to Jasper, Nevada. Now they're talking about the relationship with Cliffjump and all, and I have a good time. I'm gonna say the relationship is closer than it was in Transformers Prime. I'm not gonna lie, but we cut to them arriving to Who's this character? Jack. Yes, Jack Darby. Yeah, Jack Darby. Whatever. Yeah. They arrived to his workplace, which is that burger shop or whatever. And well, the reason they're there is because two Viocons were busy chasing them, so they had to basically stay there for a bit and basically chill, you can say, basically. But yeah, but those Viocons still like rushing, like going to run them over. Yeah, basically. RC still does that cool scene where she basically goes through that small tight space through the Viocons, and one of the Viocons was about to run over Sierra, but Bumblebee, being the goat himself, quickly drives towards her, basically drifts, opens his door, makes a slip in, and basically drives off. You know when someone just drives, they do a drift quickly, okay. How can I describe it? Bumblebee drives basically. He drifts basically, kind of like he just drifts a bit, and he opens his door. And when she's about to fall, he basically helps her come inside him. And yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Best way. But yeah, that's basically what Bumblebee does. And him and RC are just driving off. Now RC's like, we should drop them off, but then Bumblebee's like, if we do that, the cons are gonna go after them. And RC like, dang it, you're right. Wondering what to do, the other of us just continue driving, but the Viocons force them on that bridge like the one in Canon, and they still fight them under the bridge, and we still have Raphael watching the fight scene along with Sierra and Jack, and they quickly kill them. Like honestly, like I said, the Viocons are I know what boosted these guys as weak, well as strong as they were in season 2 and 3, along with Transformers Prime the movie, and yeah, and they Bumblebee and Odyssey go back to base, inform Optimus what happened, and Optimus orders them to get the other humans, and they do that. Now, we still have Miko and everything else. I'm not gonna lie, episode 1 is gonna end up the same. With Megatron arriving and screaming, I am back, my Decepticons, saying the same line. And we skip to episode 2, where Megatron shows Starscream the Dark Energon. Now, Megatron is like, the blood of Unicron, the power to control the dead. And Starscream like, my master, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know. Well, we can't assume we can, Starscream. We can try. Are you willing to make the ultimate sacrifice by being my test subject? Starscream in his mind, oh hell nah. Well, Master, I'm your first lieutenant. Isn't it unwise to sacrifice me? Maybe we could use a dead Viocon. Hearing this, Megatron is like, Ben, get me a dead Viocon. And Starscream, obliging to his orders, gets him a dead Viocon and proceeds to, well, yeah, you know when cliffjumper was revived, that's basically what Megatron does. And the Autobots pick up this energy frequency because remember, back in season 1, in the first 5 episodes, Dark Energon had a massive energy frequency or energy base, something. Yeah, energy frequency basically. So they could detect it, you can say. So they go straight towards the cave. And the Autobots who are going on this mission are Optimus, Bumblebee, RC, and Bulkhead, along with Cliffjumper. Thanks to having an extra medic, it's actually a little bit easier. And with that, Cliffjumper would be fixed up like way faster than earlier because Skyfire was already fixing him up. So yeah, Cliffjumper's fixed up earlier, and he goes on the mission. Now, there are 5 of them go. The reason why Skyfire is not going is because since this it's inside a cave, his flying capabilities are gonna be rendered useless, and he's gonna have a hard time, and also because of his height, he's way too tall. Like if you have to guess his height, I'm gonna say he's taller than even Predator King. So yeah. Yeah, it's better if he stays in the base. It's better. So yeah, basically. Now we cut to basically the Autobots fighting inside the cave, them finding a Terraviocon, RC getting some dark energon on her arm, and the Autobots dropping off the human partners, and the cave blowing up, and yada yada yada. And the human partners are gonna be partnered up with the same lineup. Bumblebee with Raph because I like relationship. RC with Jack, Mika with Bulkhead, and Sarah with Cliffjumper. All of you should have seen this one coming. But yeah, basically. And episode 3 is gonna start off the same. And yeah. Now Optimus obviously tells the other Autobots to stay behind as he goes with Ratchet and Skyfire. Since he also does have a human partner, he doesn't care much about the humans. The three of them go together, and they would arrive in the same location and do the same fight scenes and all, fight those terracons and all, and yada yada yada. And we would skip to when Agent Fowler arrives to base and complains about the bridge incident and also the mountain blowing up. But he still gets captured by humans because he can't keep his mouth shut. Dang it, Agent Fowler. You should keep your mouth shut. But yeah. And the Autobots who are there are Bumblebee and Cliffjumper because RC went on a drive with Bumblebee and Bulkhead. My bad. Yeah, I said Bulkhead. Never mind. Yeah. So RC went on a drive with Cliffjumper instead of Bumblebee in this timeline. And Cliffjumper, even though didn't want to go because he wanted to stay with his brother, but still went because a lady has needs. And a man has to sadly give into those needs for her. But yeah. And yeah, the rest of episode 3 would play a bit the same. Miko obviously going to the ground bridge, Bumblebee and Bulkhead working together to save Agent Firewall, and the humans getting captured. Now we skip to episode 4. And this episode is kind of the same. But I'm gonna start off with Optimus, Ratchet, and Skyfire busy fighting the Terracons. And with them having an extra Autobots, and along with him also being a flyer and having more firepower, they managed to basically kill the Terracons earlier and destroy them all easier. And with the help of, I would say, Optimus' skills along with Skyfire, they kill them earlier, and Optimus actually has more energy. And Skyfire basically uses his flying capabilities to grab Optimus and Ratchet and pick them up and fly straight towards the mounts Megatron's on. Megatron like, we will fight soon, Optimus, but for now, I would have to take my leaves. As he transforms and leaves, and we cut to the Autobots rescuing Agent Firewall. Now, the two Viocons that are holding Sierra, Jack, and Raph hostage are killed by Cliffjumper and RC because in episode 3, Bulkhead informed them that the humans came in and Agent Fire was kidnapped, so they had to come in to help out. And with the four of them working together, they'll manage to save Agent Fargo. But when Starscream basically leaves that torture place or something, I forgot the name of the place, but yeah, I'm just gonna call it the prison place. Yeah, prison or jail cell. Yeah, why not the jail cell for anybody? When he leaves the jail cell, Cliffjumper shoots him straight in his thrusters, making, I can say, Starscream's flying capabilities rendered useless. Yeah, so Starscream kind of lost his thrusters, is now underground and all that. But yeah, we would have to cut to our about saving Agent Firewall and the other humans and just going straight back to base. And episode 4 will end up the same, so yeah, just a few key changes and great monologue, you can say. And episode 5 would play a bit the same in the beginning, but the only differences that I have to change is the space bridge incident, where they go straight to space and fight the Decepticons. Now, the Autobots who are going on this mission are Optimus, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, RC, Skyfire, and Bulkhead. Now, the six of them go together. and they arrive like they did in Canon and are ready for the smoke. They're ready to run some ones. Now Megatron sends three times the amount of Yokon flyers than he did in Canon. And they start attacking the Autobots, and the Autobots start shooting back. Now, I would say the satellite thing that was like on the Nemesis is still destroyed. So by Bulkhead. Not Starscream. Soundwave still has to go to that satellite place and use the satellites to basically open the space bridge, but the humans still try to stop them like they did in Canon. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that plays out the same. So Megatron still throws the dark energon. All of you are wondering, can Skyfire like blow up the dark energon? I would say yes, but the problem is they have 3 times the amount of Viocon flyers, so no. He's technically overwhelmed, so he can't even destroy it, even if he wanted to. So we still have Terracons and all that, and Optimus and Megatron still fight. But the fight between Megatron and Optimus plays out the same, and I would say Skyfire is leading the other Autobots to basically blow up the space bridge, not ground bridge, space bridge. But now Megatron basically beats Optimus like he did in Canon, but the difference is instead of him having on his knees, he has him on his um back, yes, and he puts his leg on his chest and tells him that he's going to kill him. But Optimus is thankfully saved by Cliffjumper, and Cliffjumper is like, "You good?" And Prime's like, "I'm fine." Then Cliffjumper's like, "On a tag team, why not?" And they tag team and beat Megatron basically. And the space bridge is still destroyed, and Megatron sadly, well, not sadly, thankfully dies. And they go straight towards Skyfire to like fly them out of here, and Ratchet opens a ground bridge for them, and they go through it, and everyone is safe. And yeah, the space bridge is destroyed, Megatron is pursued dead, and yeah, that'll be the end of episode 5. So that'll be the end of this part. That was short, but hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.